morning to you all, and I so much appreciate the fact that you've joined me here for discussions on some forex pairs, crypto pairs, stocks, and commodities.
Right.
This is basically the second time I'm coming on live. The very first one, I think, I dropped something on Bitcoin, but I didn't really say much about it. I just showed the screens of what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, and that is the that is the picture you have on your screens right now.
My son, I will give my Samsung here from here, right?
So I think that was on Monday, April 7, 2025. So you could
Thank you.
see my prediction on Bitcoin was that the target I am looking at is 130,000. So I gave the signal around. Those in my community would be very much aware of this very picture you are seeing on your screens right now. So I picked the trade. I gave the setup on my Telegram channel. I think I shared it on my WhatsApp pages as well and on X, but I didn't post it on TikTok. So maybe if you go through my page on TikTok, you may not see Bitcoin setup and all that. But this is what I was looking at. You can see the blue line in the FVG zone. So the FVG simply means fair value gap. I know most of you are joining because I shared it on the Telegram pages and all that. So I was expecting price to reverse in the fair value gap down here. Then I was equally looking at the fact that price would push to the upside, create a new all-time high, and equally go up to 130,000. Sure, that is, I'm still anticipating that. So basically, most of the people who took the trade have booked their profits and all that. So that is what I was looking at on Bitcoin. And fortunately for us, just last week, Bitcoin hit an all-time high, a new all-time high. That was 102, 112,000, 112,000. Yes, $112,000. That was the new all-time high on Bitcoin. But there is something funny I'm seeing on Bitcoin when you go to the daily time frame. Honestly, I don't joke with institutional references and all that. I would want to do the analysis live with you guys. Then we see if we could make something out of it. So there was a wedge that's formed on Bitcoin. That was last week. Within last week, I think on Thursday, 29th May. So like the wedge had formed. So each and every time a wedge forms, like this wedge you are seeing, it is called the rising wedge. So the rising wedge, each and every time the rising wedge forms, there's going to be a breakout to the downside. Good. So the price has already broken the wedge. You can see the wedges are the two white parallel lines. Those are the wedges. So it has broken price. The red candles have broken the down white parallel line. It has broken it. And there's something important I don't joke with when it comes to trade entries. I don't joke with it. So when you check on the daily time frame, you could see that there is a small fair value gap that has been created. So the fair value gap simply means it is an institutional reference. whereby smart monies will tell you that that is where banks and all those bigger institutions they are looking at to trigger positions and all that. So this is what I'm looking to see on Bitcoin. I'm looking to see price sell from this zone, but it's not going to be a very long time. The sell is not going to be for a very long time. So to sell from this zone, then I put my stop loss above this high, the blue um, horizontal line over there. Then I target this fair value gap as well. Good. But the reason why I may not be in this trade for a longer duration is because this, or I may even ignore it because this is a trade against the trend of the market. The trend of the market is currently bullish, so I will not risk that to trade against it. And if I would have to trade against it, I would make sure my profit target is small. I wouldn't waste much time or be in the market for long, because in the long term, it's bullish. The market is bullish. The main target is 130,000, but there is a sell opportunity right here, and the sell opportunity is when um, I may take or I may not take, depending on the reaction in the gap that I've noticed up there. If I see price reacting to the gap, the yellow gap I've indicated over there positively, then I would take and minimize my my profit and equally the losses with a smaller lot size or something like that. But if it breaks it, then it means the main trend, the 130,000 is still going to happen anytime soon. Good. So basically, if any of you would want to ask questions about Bitcoin, the setup I've shared with you right now, before I move on to the next pair, you can request and come up as a guest or something like that. Then we take it right from there. You ask your question, then we move on to the next pair. Um, if there is nothing
Guys, if you have any question,
exactly.
you can just mute yourself and talk.
Okay, I think they are okay. So then let me move on to the next one. I think within last week there were some pairs I gave, especially US stocks on how do you call it? Dow Jones, that is US 30. So this is what I'm looking at on US 30. I am one person, I don't trade against the trend. It is a taboo for me to trade against the trend. So each and every time I pick a trade, I think within on Friday someone asked me of how I pick my entries and all that. So this trend is a downtrend. So every opportunity I'm looking at should be sales on US 30. Every opportunity I would be looking at on US 30 should be sales. And I don't just give signals or I don't just drop setups and all that. There are lots of things I look out for. There are lots of confluences I look out for. If I should pick a trade, I should see about 5 or 6 or 7 confluences. If it is less than that, I'm not taking it. Okay, so the minimum should be even 4. If I don't see more than 4 confluences, I'm not picking the trade, no matter how juicy or how interesting the setup looks. So there are certain things I've marked, some of the confluences that I've marked. So you can see the turtle soup, the FVG, the rising wedge, clearly written over there. But when you zoom deeper, like go down into the 4 hour, there are other confluences that I saw, but I didn't write them over there. So I'm going to explain each of them. The turtle soup simply means liquidity grab. So on US 30, or the theory behind the charts on the markets is very simple. Price is always targeting liquidity. It is targeting liquidity. Where there is no liquidity, price wouldn't go there. So this is why most of us, or most of you, yes, sometimes I also get that shock. That is why this is why most of us, our trades hit stop losses and all that. We don't wait to see what we call the turtle soup or the liquidity grab. Yes, we don't wait to see that, and we tend to say that yes, the the broker is manipulating the market or something like that. If you know what you are doing, you get to know when to enter and how, and when to exit. So the turtle soup is marked. It is always an old high or an old low, an old high or an old low. In smart money, there are places where price on charts targets, or the market targets, especially old high, old low, fair value gap, order blocks, and all that. All these things attract price. Price would walk to them naturally. It would walk to them. So the turtle soup, you can see the yellow line from the left side to the right. So the left side is the old high. This side is the old high. So as soon as price moves above the old high and drops, that becomes a liquidity grab, or the turtle soup. So as the turtle soup has happened, it means the trend is still a downtrend, and it is going to sell massively. So this is an opportunity for those who could not um, pick a sell on US 30 when I dropped the setup last week. Price is still in the entry zone, so you can take advantage of it and make um, some few USDs out of it. So with the turtle soup, the liquidity above the old high has been grabbed, and it has dropped, and it has, as it was dropping, it created a fair value gap. So the gap equally attracted price. As I said earlier, fair value gaps, that is FVGs, turtle soup, or old highs, old lows, order blocks. These are the things that attract the market. They attract price. So the turtle soup attracted the price and swept the liquidity above it. So the liquidity simply means people will put their stop losses over there. They wouldn't wait for the liquidity to be grabbed before they enter the trade. They entered because they realized that they had gotten to an old high, so they have joined the trades and all that, and they have put their stop losses over there. So definitely, per what smart money is also saying, price will go and clear all those stop losses. That is why people will say, oh, I was looking at sales. Yes, I dropped my stop loss over there, and price took me out, and it is going my direction. Yes, it is because you didn't wait for the turtle soup to happen or the liquidity grab to happen. So on this very setup, regarding US 30, the turtle soup has occurred. All liquidities have been grabbed. So it is calm now, and price is currently in the entry zone. And this is a swing trade. This trade could take more than 2 weeks before hitting the overall TP. And you can see the rising wedge. Wedges are formed when price is about to break out. Yes. So wedges are just pullbacks in the opposite direction of the main trend of the market. So each and every time you see price consolidating upwards or downwards, that is a wedge. That is a wedge. So you can see rising wedge with these two parallel white parallel lines, where I'm looking at the fact that price would break it to the downside, and it has broken it already. Price has broken it, and it created a fair value gap over here. So the fair value gap is where I called for the trade in the Telegram page. So this is the fair value gap. Exactly. So I'm looking at price dropping from 42,200 down to 36,549. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. And this is the daily time frame. So it takes a long time for you to hit your full TP or something like that. So if you are not equally in my Telegram channel too, you can send me a message. I would send you the link, or I'll try and paste the link in my bio so that you can equally tap on it and it will take you to the Telegram channel. So that is US 32. I don't know if anyone would want to ask a question on US 30 as we move on. Okay, so someone is
Oh,
asking of my WhatsApp
hello.
number. Yeah, just send me a DM, please. If you would want to have my WhatsApp number, just send me a DM. Nanajo, I want to bring you up. I realized you turned 0 points minus something something to 400 USD. I want you to share with us and tell us more about it. Okay. So Nanajo is also a very good trader. Yes. So okay.
Yuri,
Amankwa, you wanted to talk? Yeah, I'm listening.
you have class for
Guys,
beginners. Maybe a person
let's
doesn't have any idea about whatever you are telling us now. Do you have
Yes.
classes for beginners?
Yes. God willing, just 2 weeks from now, there's going to be a mentorship on this, but it's not really, really beginners. Just like it's really not for beginners, kind of like intermediate or something. But I'm planning on something for beginners as well before the year ends. Do you get it?
Okay.
guys follow everybody in the box.
Exactly.
Touch on the plus sign so that we form a community.
Okay. I don't know if so this year foreigner. So just text me, like send me a message on WhatsApp. Sorry, on like on TikTok. I'll equally get back to you and send you my WhatsApp number. Then you take it from there. Good. Now I would want us to have a look at Ghana cities and the USD. Right now, everybody wants to know, is the dollar going up? Is it going down? And all that. Okay, so this very analysis I did it last year, 5th December, before the elections. So 5th December 2024, I had done the analysis and I realized price is going to move or drop down to maybe the fourth support. So you can see the yellow writings over the yellow texts. The fourth support, maybe the price is 6 cedis, because price or the markets of USD and Ghana cedis had changed its trend. The market had changed its trend. It was an uptrend, and everything was clear before elections that the trend had changed technically. So this is the monthly time frame. So it means any green candle you see over here opened and closed within 1 month. As well, any red candle you see over here means it's closed or it's opened and closed within 1 month. So it tells you clearly that there has been several months or candles that have formed within 2025. So 2025's candle started from here. Started from here. This green candle, this small green, this small red, red, red. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been 5 months since 2025 began. And the current one for June has opened. Good. So on this, I did analysis. When you go on my on my X page, I posted it over there and talked about it even before the elections, because I knew politicians would come and tell us that they are the people dropping the price of USD. No, it's not them. They can't do anything about it. Do you get it? It is not them. Good. Ghana's economy can't fight um, that of US. It can't. So the currencies are paired. It's like a war between two countries or two economies. So when you see USD JPY, it means the dollar against Japanese yen. Okay, so these are two countries' economies we are talking about. So the USD Ghana cedis is also US's economy and Ghana's economy. And we all know we can't fight them to win. Okay, we can't fight them to win. The things we can do to sustain our currency, we are not ready to do it. The politicians are not ready to do it. That is why you could hear currently from the president that um, if they decide to make the Ghana cedis stronger against the USD, it is going to affect Ghana's economy, and that is true. Okay, but this is the reason. Naturally, this is the dollar index. This is the dollar index. So the dollar index simply means this is the chart that marks or um, gives a fair idea of how the strength of the dollar is. So if you are seeing this on your screens, you can tell between 2024 and 2025. The yellow line separating these 2 years will tell you a lot. From 2024 October, price started to shoot. The dollar became strong against all currencies on earth, including Bitcoin, gold, euro, pound, Japanese yen, Chinese yuan, naira, safer, whatever currency. Okay, but in 2024 5, yes, in 2025 things changed. So you could tell how drastic the USD is dropping, and I'm equally targeting it down to this place, 96 here, where I've marked white at the bottom, or let me change it to yellow or something. This, I'm targeting price here, so it means it is going to drop more, this zone. But if it doesn't, I'll be targeting 80 or 97. The reason is I said something earlier about wedges. This is also a wedge, a rising wedge. And I've told you the wedges create when price is about to break out to the upside or to the downside. So this is a rising wedge. If the wedge is rising, it means it is going to break to the downside. And if it creates a falling wedge like this, like what it created in October, like from July 2024 to October 2020 or September 2024, it created a falling wedge. So you could see price breaking to the upside. The same thing over here, a falling wedge. Price broke to the upside. Good. So the dollar is naturally dropping to its lowest, that is 97. Maybe on the 97 we may see a push back to this place like this. And if it happens like that, you should know that the Ghana cedis is in a big trouble. Yes, because I'm equally sensing something like a wedge on this. I'm sensing a wedge on this. And what is really making the USD weaker against all currencies is because of the tariffs and those sanctions and all that. That is why USD is really going down against all this and all that. Could you please mute yourself, please? Upadi, kindly mute yourself. Okay, so that is it. Now back to the Ghana cedis. Good. So you can see I've marked an FVG over there. My targets when I did the analysis on Opadi.
Yo, now
Opadi.
I'm going to feed.
That's make a drop him. David, I beg if you drop Opadi, give me.
Yo, Gina. Yo, Livingston.
Yo, boy, you for mute yourself, I beg. You for mute
Oh,
yourself.
okay.
You for mute
Oh,
yourself.
okay.
You for mute
Oh,
yourself.
okay.
Hello. Yeah, hello. So sorry, I'm back. I think I had a technical issue. So back to the USD conversation against the Ghana cedis. So it has formed what we call it had formed what we call RSI divergence. So the divergence simply tells you more about the fact that prices, the trend of the market is changing or it has changed. So I realized that in like I think on 5th December 2024. So my targets were the yellow text on the chart. So the first target was the first support around 14,000, 14 cedis. I was expecting price to reverse to the upside when it gets to 14 cedis. Like here, getting here, then it moves up, but it didn't, and it broke it. I was equally expecting it to reverse on the second support, that is around 10 cedis, and it has broken it. Now the next institutional reference that is likely to hold price and push it up is this zone, the FVG on the third support. So this fair value gap created here, this is where I think price is going to push back up, and I'm expecting the monthly candle to enter to it and push out. So if it enters and goes or comes out of it, that means the uptrend is still intact. But if it breaks down, it breaks it, it means I'm targeting the fourth support that is around 6 cedis. So every reaction is going to be determined this month, this monthly candle. That is when I would make the decision to buy USD or keep selling USD. Exactly. And look at the sizes of the red candles on the blue lines or towards the blue horizontal lines. Yes. So if it means the momentum of the sales is very huge. It's very, very strong. So I'm expecting price to reverse in this fair value gap. If it does, then it means we are going back up. And as I showed you on DXY as well, I'm expecting a reversal on DXY to the upside. Exactly. I'm equally expecting a strong USD in in coming days. Yes. So that is basically what I have on um, Ghana cities and all that. But I would want to quickly move to some pairs that I shared. I think USD JPY. This is also USD JPY, which means the dollar against the Japanese yen. And I am personally expecting that the dollar will be strong to push to the upside, and it is exactly. So if this month I'm expecting the dollar to be strong, it means the Ghana cedis is also going to reverse. And don't put any, don't give any credit to anyone yet, because I keep saying this. They are not ready to do that for us because it takes a lot. And what you do to keep your country's currency stable, another the country your currency is trading against is also doing the same thing to keep his currency stable. And two economies whereby one is bigger than the other can never be on the same page. No, it can't happen like that. Exactly. So let's have a look at it and see how best price would react to the fair value gap on Ghana cedis. Then we take it from there. Because if I tell you the power of the fair value gap, have a look at Bitcoin. You could see that the decision I made was based on the fair value gap I had seen on the chart. And that is it. Let me switch to the weekly time frame. This is it. So this is the FVG. Price reversed in the FVG. And that is exactly what I'm expecting to see on Ghana cedis. Having a look at US 30, price is going to reverse in the FVG, in the fair value gap. So it means there is something meaningful with the fair value gaps. Having a look at US oil, price also reversed. You see how price reacted to the fair value gap. Good. That is what we are talking about. The power of the FVG. Price has touched the US oil's fair value gap, and it's dropped to the downside. So each time price visits a fair value gap, especially in a trend like this, definitely I'm expecting price to reverse, to push out of it and move to the right direction of the market. Exactly. And if you can see you